Hey guys, welcome back. So lots of things to update you guys on. We've been very busy, had a lot going on. It feels like a blur actually the last couple weeks. Our those heifers started having calves, so we've been busy with that. I've also been trying to get them in and get them trained slowly, one by one, as they're having calves, so I can start milking them. And that's been very time consuming. Yeah, but other than that, I mean, we've had some issues out here with a drain. I've been really busy with that. I had a drain out in the barn I had to get fixed. There's been all kinds of stuff, and I just haven't had time to even think about grabbing the camera and taking some videos. So I'm going to try and do a better job here as we go forward, because we're going to be getting ready, geared up to, we got to do some field work. We got a bunch of manure to spread, and then I want to get out. I usually like to take the disc out and just kind of harrow up the pastures. I just lightly disc over our pastures to kind of spread out manure or anything like that. Just maybe an inch or inch and a half down. Just kind of stir up the scratch the pastures, basically. It seems like we've got a harrow, one of those old drag harrows, and it just doesn't do a very good job. It's good for seeding when you put new seed down. It works good for that. We even have an old spring tooth one as well, but same thing. Those are pretty much just good for seeding or for bare ground. But as far as harrowing the pastures, I like to use a disc and just go out and kind of scratch it up a little bit, and it seems to do really well for us. So anyway, I've got a bunch of field work I got to get done, so I'll try and get some videos of that stuff as that's coming along. Plus there's a guy down the road that's got 4 or 5 acres that I'm going to the last several years I cleared a bunch of trees for him, probably 3 or 4 years ago. And it was a new property he bought, and I cleared out a bunch of trees for him, and then I've been mowing it. Every year he pays me to mow it, and so this year I told him, I said, we've been getting all the brush and everything chopped down, and so it's actually just some pretty good grasses. And so this year I told him, why don't you, instead of paying me to mow it, how about you just let me come cut it and bale it, and then we'll just call it a wash. You don't have to spend any money mowing it, and I'll just come take the hay off of it. So we're going to do that, and but I got to get over there with the disc, same thing, and just kind of level it out, because I never did anything after I pulled those trees. I kind of smoothed out some of the holes from the roots and stuff, but it's still, it needs a little work too. So I'm going to get over and scratch that up as well and get that ready. But hopefully that should be some good ground, because it's been just brush and trees for years and years. So there's lots of organic matter. So that should be some really good ground, and should get some good hay off of it this year. So I'm kind of excited about that, because we do need some extra hay this year. But yeah, other than that, today we're going to be working on the tractor. This is the old 1130 Massey. I need to get this thing back together, because I'm going to be needing it. And I also need my shop space, because I got 150 other projects that I got to get working on too as I got time. So anyway, that's what we're going to be doing today. Anyway, we're going to get started here working on the tractor. I've got all the seals and everything I need for it. I'm going to, first thing I'm going to do is I got the hydraulic pump out. I got that out several weeks back. In fact, took a little video clip of that, and if I haven't put it in the video, I will put it in there and kind of show how I took that apart or pulled it out. It was pretty simple. But anyway, we're going to put some seals in the hydraulic pump, and then as soon as I get that done, I'm going to unbolt the steering rack, or well, not unbolt it, but take the sides off of that steering rack and put new seals in that too, and then we'll start working on putting this thing back together. So anyway, let's get going. And you can see I've got the hydraulic pump is loose. I just need to get it out of there. That thing is heavy. So I need to, I think I can get it out of there myself, but I got to get some gloves on, because I don't want, I'm probably going to smash a finger or something trying to do it. But I got the hydraulic pump is completely out now, and I got it sitting right down here. The thing is heavy, but I was able to get it out by myself. I just found an old tore up ratchet strap, and just used the hooks, put them inside the bolt holes, and just lifted it up out of there. I was able to get the front end separated. I left the top bolt in, just a couple threads, so it wouldn't slide out all the way, and then I used these dowels kind of as a safety net. I got one on both sides there, one on each side. That way, if for some reason these threads were to work themselves out, at least it ain't going to go very far, and it's still going to be lined up. So Alright, so basically what I got to do here is there's some O-rings inside this. There's an O-ring right there I'm going to replace, although that doesn't actually look that bad. Well, yeah, I guess it's pretty flattened. Anyway, and then I believe there's some O-rings in there, and it looks like that screws out, and my understanding is that's not an adjustment, so I don't have to worry about, like, these right here are an adjustment. That's why they've got a wire through them right there. That way they don't spin, they stay right where they're at, because I believe that regulates pressure. This one, I don't have to worry about that, because my understanding is there's an O-ring on the bottom side, and so you just screw it down, snug it down because you want it tight. So a couple of these are the O-rings that go in there, and these are all of my gaskets and seals for the steering rack. Sometimes you just got to improvise. I just took a big chisel. It was all mushroomed out. I ground it down. 3/4 socket. She's gonna come off. Ha! Look at that. We're just going to leave that sitting there, and we're going to go mess with the steering rack now. You guys can kind of see my mess here. Anytime I'm taking stuff apart, and I know there's a lot of people out there the same way, you can see this one, there's no nicks, nothing. It looks perfectly fine. I don't like seeing that, because then you replace it, but was it really the problem? Because it clearly looks fine. But we go over here, this right here is exactly what I want to see. I can definitively say that's the problem right there. So that's what I like to see every time I take something apart. I can point and say, yep, that was the problem. I know I got it fixed. So you can see right there, there's the O-ring I got to replace. Yeah, that thing was all jacked up. Well, that went on easy. right, so I got both of these cleaned up. Those cleaned up real nice. I was able to use that brush wheel, and they cleaned up real nice. Let me back up, I guess so you can see it. But yeah, they cleaned up real nice. I wish I could have done that on the housing, but that's all right. Gosh dang it. There we go. Whew. So here's the scoop. I got the hydraulic pump back in and it is mounted. I did not get any of the plumbing hooked up yet, but it is mounted. I got the tractor where I split it, got it put back together, got all the bolts in, got them all tightened up. I have the pump hooked up to the dampener pulley, so she is ready to go. I think before I go any further, what I'm going to do is do a little house cleaning, because I've got a mess here. So I'm going to clean all this crap out from underneath here, hose all this down, degrease it, power wash it off. I've got a big the bottom of one of those IBC totes that I cut off that I'll slide right underneath here and just hose all this down, clean it all up, degrease it. So I got this thing washed off. It actually didn't do too bad of a job. I mixed that stuff pretty heavy, so it should work pretty good. I can still feel a little bit on there, but not much. I think it'll be just fine. Yeah, it did a pretty good job. Anyway, so and like this, like I said, this catches most of it. I mean, it's obviously going to spray over my tools and stuff. I mean, I got crap everywhere in this shop, so unless I hang a tarp, there's no way to keep it all from getting some splatter. But whatever, tools could use a little dusting. But anyway, got it all cleaned up. I'm gonna let this dry. I'm not gonna work anymore on it. It's almost 4 o'clock, so I'm gonna have to, I got some stuff to do quick before I have to get ready to start milking here. And got the radiator sprayed off, and the soaked it and sprayed it, and same with the cooler. I had to do those again just because last time I put it back together, I had a fitting that was loose and it sprayed hydraulic fluid all over the radiator and the cooler, and I didn't quite get them clean the last time. So I think I did a pretty good job this time too. So anyway, like I said, I'm gonna let this stuff dry off, and we'll get back at it. Like I said, the only thing I've got left to get is the alternator. So anyway, that's kind of where we're at on this. But I'm excited. I need to get this back together. It's time. I need to use this. I've got stuff that needs done. So anyway, thanks for coming along, guys. I appreciate it. If you like what you saw, give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. We got some other videos coming out, and I'm gonna try and do a little bit better job. These last, like I said, these last few weeks have just been there's just been a lot going on. I haven't had time to film, or I haven't even really thought about filming, and let alone I wouldn't have had time to to edit anyway. So anyway, thanks if you guys are still watching. I really appreciate it, and we'll talk to you soon. See you in the next one.